Money. Money is a very practical human invention. In the old days, people had to barter if they wanted to trade with one another. I want an apple and you want some wood. I happen to have some wood, so we trade. I can eat my apple, you can use the wood to make some boxes, to keep more apples, so we can trade more, and more, and more, and more. But hey, I don't want to eat apples all the time. I want other things too. So perhaps, instead of trading goods one for one, we should buy and sell them using a standard medium of exchange. We invented money. It works as a common unit of account to express the value of goods and compare prices, and it is a generally accepted medium of exchange. At first, people used shiny metal for money, coins made of copper, silver, gold, but that proved a little impractical as you have to carry around a lot of weight. Much easier to print pieces of paper that represent an agreed amount of money. As long as everyone you trade with accepts these pieces of paper and recognizes the value they represent, all is fine. To make things easy, we give our money a name, and we have made sure that everyone within our own community uses the same money, be it Swiss francs, dollars, rupees, pesos, euros, or yen. Later still, we found other ways too. Money that is not printed on pieces of paper, but that simply exists in a bank account, as an electronic number in a database. This makes it possible to increase the supply of money going around in the economy. Electronic money can take many different forms: credits, loans, stocks, futures, securities, bonds, mortgages, pension fund entitlements, etc., etc., etc. We've come a long way from bartering apples for wood. Main thing is, people trust their national currency, their money, and it can flow freely to fuel our economy.
Well, in today's global economy, countries are increasingly integrated, so they trade with one another and they also invest in each other's assets. So that means that the exchange rate of a country is a very important variable. So on the one hand, it determines how well and how much the country can trade with other countries, and it also determines how attractive the assets of a country are for foreign investors. Now, amongst all the currency of the world, there are a few that stand out in importance because they are used more often in international trade and international finance. So this is the US dollar, it's the euro, and it's the Japanese yen. So that means that the monetary policy or the actions of the central banks of the countries that issue these reserve currencies are particularly important in shaping global financial conditions and in shaping global exchange rate constellations.
If a country is good at producing certain goods that are in high demand abroad, say medical instruments or chocolate, it will earn lots of euros and dollars exporting those. What happens to these euros and dollars?
In trading with each other, countries typically run up balance of payments, surpluses or deficits. A country running a balance of payments surplus, because it exports more than it imports from abroad, would accumulate foreign currency in the accounts of its central bank. The central bank keeps these as reserves, a buffer to be used if the domestic currency weakens and or if it needs to make more foreign debt payment than it had originally planned. During that time, the central bank will then invest these reserves securely in order to earn a return on them. A country running a balance of payment deficit, because it imports more from abroad than it exports, may need foreign currency, either to fund this deficit or to protect its currency from weakening suddenly.
With no vested interest in any particular nation or central bank, the BIS is well placed to assist central banks in managing the money they issue, by offering banking services to central banks and by fostering their international cooperation.